with 9 points. And Gilbert Arenas struggling. He's playing hurt, just 1 of 7 from the field.
And let's say Delonte West, who had a pretty good game 1 as well, was 0 for that first half, 0 for 3 from the field.
Shot clock to 5. Ilgauskas. Zydrunas 6 of 8 from the floor. 14 points. And the Cavs have their biggest lead of the night. Try to jump in front of the series, 2 games to none. Wallace got a piece of it. Let's check it with Marty Snyder.
Well, guys, I talked to Gilbert Arenas about that 1 for 7 performance that you mentioned, Marv, and he said his right wrist is hurting him much worse than he anticipated tonight. Reggie, you mentioned it. He had the tape on early. He had to take it off because that was hurting his follow-through. He said now the wrist is just very sore, almost impossible to shoot with. Coach Jordan told me a lot of what happened in the first half was our undoing for the Wizards, our own undoing, I should say. He said we let the pressure get to us. We got down, then we got anxious. He said LeBron's incredible. He's a new Michael Jordan with 40 pounds and 6 extra inches.
That is an intriguing way of looking at things. Stevenson picked up the foul, and the poor shot selection continues for the Wizards here at the start of the third quarter.
Well, it's one pass and the shot goes up, or they come down off a Cavalier miss and go one-on-one.
Serbiak on a catch and shoot from downtown.
And if Wally Serbiak is going to be on the floor, he has to be knocking down shots because he's definitely a defensive liability.
Daniels. Haywood with the follow, and he's fouled. Wallace and Ilgauskas not allowing Haywood to squeeze off the follow-up. Foul is called on Wallace. Haywood is 1 for 1 at the line. Well, parenting isn't easy. Watching TV's Funniest Family is. And this June, the Bill Engvall Show is back. Catch all new episodes of a true family comedy. June 12th at 9 only on TBS.
Very funny.
It's a 17-point Cavalier lead. James for Wallace. Serbiak. Yes. Beautiful ball movement by the Cavaliers.
You get into the lane, wide open. Ben Wallace finds an even wider open Wally Serbiak. Easy deuce.
Haywood met by the double. Daniels. Rebound James. And the poor shooting continues for Washington. Foul is called on the Wizards. As James lowered his shoulder, he took the hit.
And I kind of like the shot he gave Antonio Daniels, too, because obviously they had to call the first foul, which was Antonio Daniels with his hands. But that really was an offensive foul on LeBron James as he kind of threw Daniels down to the ground.
Second team foul called on Washington. Traveling violation.
Eddie Jordan's happy. He's jumping up and down. They finally called the travel on the big fella. He even had to get a smile out of it. Says, well, it's about time.
Sean Stevenson, Antonio Daniels in the backcourt. Ron Butler off the fake. Stevenson for 3. And finally,
are you kidding me?
Hits a shot, but how can you do that?
Are you kidding me?
When you're down by 16
you're
points.
Down 16 points and you're going to do that? And you've been struggling in the first 2 games? Come on.
Our producer, Scooter Partido, makes the point that anyone can talk. As James with an answer from downtown. He said anyone can talk when you're winning.
Wow.
Not only that, Deshaun Stevenson, as Haywood is fouled by Wallace. Stevenson, 1 of 9 the other night. And over the last 2 years in the playoffs against Cleveland, he is shooting 10 for 55 coming into tonight.
Well, you knock down a big shot, and then you get this crowd energized when you're trying to get back into the ball game with your play. And all you're really doing is adding fuel to the fire of number 23, LeBron James, who comes down and matches your three.
Although I must say, Reggie, as I think back to your career and the taunting that went on, however, a different resume involved in your situation.
But I definitely wouldn't have started
Vastly
talking
different.
if I was down by 16 points on the road.
West is turned back, kept alive by Wallace. Here's James for three. And the air ball is handled by Butler. Nice play. Jamison could not finish. Here comes Serbiak. And he's fouled. Hit on a reach-in by Stevenson.
Jamison quickly on that layup right there. Kind of goosed it a little bit. 4 fouls on Deshaun Stevenson. He's probably going to have to come out. Eddie Jordan electing to stay with him.
And the other day, even LeBron could not hold back from a little playful poke at Deshaun. That was in the third quarter of game one after putting down a lob. He turned towards Stevenson and wriggled that open hand in front of his face as if they were blowing on him like he was on fire.
Hey, I like the trash talking. Obviously, I made my career off of that, but there's a time and place. That's all I'm saying.
Time and a place.
I'm down by 16 in the Garden. I'm not going to be talking to Spike Lee, though I might have heard it from him.
And Stevenson hearing it from the crowd off that miss. 4 minutes gone by here in the third. A 17-point lead for the Cavaliers. And here's James. He thought he was fouled and has a good point. And now the foul on Serbiak.
Well, LeBron goes in there, circled by Wizards. And you know that he's going to be getting hit every time he goes into the paint. I'm not quite sure this was not a foul. Looked like it was all ball right there. Plenty of time for the Wizards to get back in this with their three-headed monster as Gilbert Arenas checks back in. But they've all got to get on the same page.
That was 3 on Serbiak. And the foul is called as Daniels try to take it to the rim.
I'm going to tell you this. I love these hard fouls each team is taking on one another. There's no easy layups. And that's what playoff basketball is all about. I'm sure the guys in the studio, because we all grew up in the same era, these were just regular fouls to us.
That regular foul was called on Delonte West, his first. National coverage of the NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on NBA TV. Game 2 of the Raptors and the Magic. Friday on ESPN2. Game 3 between the Pistons and the Sixers. Also Friday, ESPN will present Game 3 of the Hornets and Mavs, followed by Spurs and Suns. And Sunday on ABC, Game 4 between the Cavaliers and Wizards, followed by Game 4 of the Spurs-Suns series. Wallace off the lead pass. So Ben Wallace with 6 points had those 2 early buckets. This after not attempting a shot in Game 1. Oh, Caron Butler taking it to the rim.
And I like that. He recognized again that Wally Serbiak was on him. You've got to make a quick move before the defense can adjust.
James fouled. Again a hard foul. James sent into one of the cameramen underneath the basket. It was Haywood called for the foul, and let's see how the officiating crew deals with this.
Well, there's definitely going to be a flagrant 1. It's not a flagrant 2 in ejection. It's a hard foul. And I understand that because you never want to take a player out of the air because you're definitely risking injury right there. A blown knee, a busted ankle. But this is the correct call. A flagrant 1, 2 shots, and they retain the ball. Nice back cut by LeBron right here. And you've got to be able to make a play on the ball. And Brendan Haywood did not make a call on the ball. And I don't know if he's being ejected or if Eddie Jordan is taking him out.
Now, they may have called it a flagrant 2. The officiating crew will review it.
And you can review flagrant fouls now.
And he's ejected from the game.
Did he make a play on the ball as LeBron goes up? No, he's pushed out. He's being shown the gate.
Yeah, automatic ejection on a flagrant 2 for Hayward.
Both teams have been playing physical all game. It's flagrant 1. They get 2 shots, give them the ball on the side, and you play on. But, to toss a guy for a hard foul like that during a playoff game, it really puts Eddie Jordan's team at a disadvantage. And, yeah, it's a hard foul.
Well, here's the other point of view, Reggie. If you don't take a stand from the officiating point of view, you're going to have a fight. And, hey, that's the way it goes. You say it's tough for Eddie Jordan's team, but if you push a guy, as you say, when he's in the air, in flight, and can cause a season-ending injury, you have to make that call.
Yes, but just a moment ago, I saw Antonio Daniels go in. Taken out the air like LeBron was, but it was a hard foul where he fell on his backside. So I'm just wondering if that wasn't LeBron James going in, and if it was Wally Zerbiak or Delonte West, one of those players, would Hayward have been ejected. But it's LeBron James. All eyes on the King. People are going to take notice.
And that would be the other point of view. So LeBron at the line, 2 shots and possession. Here's a look at the play you mentioned.
Antonio goes up. He's exposed just as well. And, Delonte makes more of a play on the ball, but it's a pretty hard foul.
But I don't think even if that was James, that would be a flagrant 2. That would be a flagrant 1, yes. So, on the subject of chippy play, as they say in the National Hockey League, Gilbert Arenas has been teed up. Anderson Varejao hit with a flagrant. And Brendan Haywood, a flagrant 2, which means automatic ejection. And the chant of MVP directed towards LeBron James from this capacity crowd here in Cleveland. West for 3.
He struggled in the first half, but like I said, right now the Cavaliers have everything clicking.
First field goal for West. Arenas is tripped up. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Biggest lead of the night for the Cavaliers. They've opened up this 20-point bulge. Let's check in with Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, guys, this theme comes in perfectly for the Cavaliers. Coach Mike Brown, in their pre-playoff dinner, said the one thing I want you guys to focus on is composure. Don't let the adversity of the series get to you, especially as physical as this first series will be, because we know it will be physical. And also don't let things like runs or emotions get you down. LeBron James, you could tell he wanted to get up and fight after that foul. Chose not to. He's still in the game. Brendan Haywood's out.
And the emotions began prior to Game 1 on Saturday, and they've continued on here. Another heated matchup between these two clubs. The Cavaliers have sent the Wizards home the last 2 postseasons. Last season, they were swept by the Cavs in the first round. Washington heavily hit by injuries. 3 years ago, the Cavs won in 6 in the opening round.
And not only this, you have to think the league is going to be reviewing this film. Is Brendan Haywood going to be suspended for Game 3? This is another thing that Eddie Jordan has to worry about.
Ilgauskas off the lead from James. Darius Singila has come on, replacing Brendan Haywood. Here's Arenas as the poor shooting continues. Arenas 1 of 8 from the field, but a foul is called, and Cavs are over the foul limit. It's on West. So the Wizards back to the line.
I think Delonte West got caught face guarding but holding Sangala down low, enabling him to go get the rebound.
Darius Sangala, guy who comes off the bench, averages 6 a game. He's made it back from a herniated disc. Originally a second-round pick of the Celtics. Spent a couple of years with Sacramento, a year with the Bulls. 72-54, Cleveland. As they look to go 2-up in this best-of-7 game 3 in our nation's capital. Thursday night right here on TNT, 8 o'clock start time. And game 4 in Washington on Sunday afternoon. Here's James. Yes, he had a foot on the line. So it's a 2. 19 points for LeBron.
And that's something that he's worked on all summer with assistant coach Chris Gent. During his time with the USA Basketball, they really wanted to concentrate on his outside shooting.
Arenas rims out, rebound. Wallace had it knocked away. And recaptured by West. Pass through the hands of James. There's Daniels going at Wallace. Offensive foul.
Well, I'm not quite sure that Ben Wallace was not in the restricted area right there. I think they're going to talk about it. The play stands. It's a charge.
A timeout called with 5:13 left in the third. 20-point Cavalier lead. BMW's X6, a coupe above.
Well, let me show you, you're really never out of a play as you see Delonte West as he's going to give the basketball up as they're trying to front Z. He gives the ball up, calls LeBron out, and you see they can't get the front. They bring up Ben Wallace. That frees up Delonte for a wide open three-point look. When you're going to front the post, you've got to make that backside wide open so you can get that open shot.
After Delonte West's first field goal of the night, Cleveland has hit 8 of 12 in this third quarter. Washington just 2 of 10 shooting in the third. 5 minutes to go. Anderson Varejao has returned. Now Sangala switches off to James, and he sets things up. Draws the double. Beautiful pass. Wallace to Varejao. Yes! And the foul!
Nice recognition by Ben Wallace. He felt that they were going to foul him. He finds a cutting Anderson Varejao for the easy lay-in.
Easy?
Easy. You've got to be able to wrap these guys up.
A little reverse English by Anderson Varejao. How about Ben Wallace with his second assist? Another nifty pass. 3-point play for Varejao.
Point power forward for Ben Wallace.
And West.
And Gilbert is just all out of sync right here. Offensive foul for tripping Delonte West.
West hit the deck, and Arenas really struggling, making it back from the knee surgery. Played only 13 games during the regular season, just 1 of 9 from the field, and having his difficulties at the other end. Nice pass. Wallace is fouled. Foul on Jamison.
Well, Ben Wallace rewarded Anderson Varejao on the previous play, and he does a good job of getting in the lane this time, trying to give it back. Am I my brother's keeper?
Strong game for Ben Wallace. At the free throw line, right around 40% once again. Oh, it's all going in tonight.
What is going on in these playoffs? Last night, Reggie Evans knocked down 2 huge free throws, being a 47% free throw shooter. Tonight, Ben Wallace, 1 of 2.
So Ben with 7 points, 2 assists, block shot, done the job off the boards. Arenas looking for the shot. There's Jamison for 3. And back comes James foul by Mason. You can see the acceleration, just the look on the face of LeBron James as he saw Mason in front of him, and Mason reached out and picked up the foul.
Well, I was more worried about looking at the face of Roger Mason as LeBron James is coming at him.
James 8 of 11 at the line. It has been a terrific all-around performance for James. 19 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds.
And I think if there's any knock, only 8 of 12 from the line for LeBron.
And he misses on both. Kept alive by the combination of Varejao and Wallace, and a foul. A reach-in is called. It is on Arenas. That's his 4th.
You know, I'm wondering, you know, people talk about, and the guys in the studio, about Gilbert helping or hurting his team. I'm not quite sure Gilbert is really helping his team right now because he's so out of it as Ben misses his first shot. They played so well without him those 69 games.
Yes.
There was ball movement. You know, as Magic said, Karan making the All-Star team, Antoine Jameson having a fantastic year.
Well, despite all the injuries, along with Arenas, as West is called for the foul that time, with Arenas missing 69 games and Butler missing quite a bit of time. Antonio Daniels also suffering through injuries. Nevertheless, the Wizards go 43 and 39. They finish as the number 5 seed, only 2 games behind the Cavaliers. So Eddie Jordan and his staff doing it despite major injuries. They also weathered an 8-game losing streak. That was back in February, but they bounced back. They fought through it. And here they are in the first round of the playoffs and facing an 0-2 deficit at the hands of the Cavaliers.
And a nice ovation for Delonte West, doing a good job on Gilbert Arenas.
West sitting down, replaced by Gibson. Sangaya jumping out of James. Wallace. Shot clock to 5. James delivers along the baseline, but it's broken up. And here's Butler ahead of the field. Although Karan, the way things are going here, checking behind him just to see if anybody was chasing him down for the potential hard hit. Serbiak had a knocked away, recovered by Varejao. And James draws the foul. Both teams over the foul limit, so both clubs will be heading to the line. Sangala call to the foul coming up next here on TNT. It'll be game 2 between the Jazz and the Rockets from Houston. The Rockets trying to tie that series at 1. Kevin Harlan, Doug Collins will have it for you. Utah shooting 52% of that first game. Meanwhile, LeBron having his difficulties here at the line. Another miss, 8 of 14 at the free throw line. It's exactly his numbers from game 1.
And we said he could shoot anywhere 20-plus free throws tonight because of the mentality that the Wizards and Eddie Jordan was going to take. Every time he gets into the lane, they were going to put hands on him.
Arenas taking to the rim. Nice move going at Smith. Only his second field goal. He's 2 of 10. Has 7 points in all. James being played by Butler. Shot clock to 5. And a foul is called. It is on Butler, who's applauding the call, but what he did was extend his arm to the back of LeBron. You don't see that call very often.
As he comes over here pleading his case today. All the hard fouls that's been going on, and they call that. That's a regular season That's a regular season call.
It's a hand check that you rarely see. And Ben began his NBA career with Washington back in the mid-90s. He played 3 seasons in the nation's capital from 96 through 99. Did not play much. Averaged about 3 points a game, 5 rebounds. He was traded to Orlando in 1999 and acquired by the Cavaliers in that 3-team trade. Acquired from Chicago. Ben had his best seasons, of course, as a member of the Detroit Pistons.
And we asked Coach Brown before the game, what was he looking for from Ben Wallace? And he's like, it's simple. We want toughness at both ends of the floor. And I think that's what he's given them tonight. He came out with that energy. LeBron James was looking for him early. Got him to the foul line, blocked some shots, and now he's into the game.
LeBron is upset with himself prior to hitting that free throw. Missed 4 of his 5 free throw attempts. But the Cavaliers have an 81-59 lead. Sangada's pass picked off on a deflection. Just under 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Here's James off the mark on a 3-point attempt. Arenas pops it down. Butler for Sangala. Crowd wanted to travel on Butler.
Good control there by Caron Butler. To find Sangala streaking down the middle.
Gibson and Serbiak in the backcourt with James Varejao and Joe Smith on the front line. And here's James for 3. 24 for LeBron James. Butler going to the left hand, switching back to the right. Nice move.
And the reason why LeBron James is getting those wide open shots is because Gilbert Arenas doesn't have enough confidence in that left knee to guard him. Doesn't have the quickness to stay with him.
Now Arenas defending on Gibson. Butler on James. Here's James again from downtown and came up with air, carried out of bounds, and a loose ball foul may have been indicated.
They're just saying
no. They say no. No. Mark Wunderlich looked like he was going to call on Varejao, then said no, deflected out. This is Mason shooting over Gibson. Cavaliers gunning for an 8th straight playoff victory over the Wizards. Varejao with the standing one-hander. Rebounded by Serbiak. And it's deflected out. Wally Serbiak getting between 3 Wizards, and here's it from the crowd for the effort.
That can't happen. There's no way Wally Serbiak should get in there and get an offensive rebound. And another possession for the Cavaliers.
Final minute, third quarter. Serbiak for 3. Varejao gets to it. And the Cavaliers controlling the offensive glass.
And we said offensive rebounds. They were number 1, the Cleveland Cavaliers, at 13 a game. Leads to second chance points.
Crowd wants James to go right at Blatch, and he does. And he scores. He backed it up, took his time, and is able to do it off the dribble. Down to 15 seconds to go in the third. Five seconds left in the quarter. Butler. The Cavaliers with an 86-63 lead. LeBron James, 26 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. Unless there's a dramatic turn, the Cavs 12 minutes away from taking a 2-0 lead in this best of 7.